Hi, my name is Jessica Thompson, and my presentation is called Small Public Health Solutions to the Big Obesity Problem. Here's some background on sugar-sweetened beverages, SSB consumption, and obesity in New York. So SSB consumption has been found to be positively associated with increased body weight and risk of obesity, as well as negatively associated with intake of important micronutrients that the human body needs. Many studies have found that there is a link between SSB consumption and weight gain, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. In New York City, several actions have been taken to try to reduce SSB consumption, including educational campaigns and organizational food policies. The specific aim of this analysis was to assess the association of BMI and SSB consumption using the Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System (BREFIS) 2016 data for the state of New York. The methods of this analysis, like I just said, use the BREFIS data, which is a nationally representative cross-sectional survey on health-related risk behaviors, chronic health conditions, and use of preventative services among adults in all 50 states. It's conducted annually by the Center for Disease Control, CDC. This analysis was restricted to 2016 BREFIS data for the residents that live in New York. A subsample using complete case analysis was taken. The outcome variable was body mass index, BMI. Individuals with underweight or severely obese weight status were excluded to eliminate confounding. So, for example, highly unusual eating habits. The exposure of interest was sugar-sweetened beverages, SSB consumption. And SSB consumption was calculated as total consumption of both soda and sweetened fruit drinks on a weekly basis with 4 levels. You can see the 4 levels there: 0 drinks, less than 1 drinks per week, 1 to 7 drinks per week, and over 7 drinks per week. And the methods continue. The covariates were demographic variables in this analysis. This includes the variables sex, age, race, ethnicity, education, income, physical activity, history of cardiovascular disease, and current diabetes diagnosis. And you can see here the type of variables. So sex was binary, male or female, age was continuous, and it was recoded for over 80 years old to 80 years old. Hispanic ethnic was binary, yes or no. Race was categorical with 3 levels: white, black, or other. Education was categorical, 3 levels: high school graduate or less, some college and college graduate. And income was also categorical, 3 levels. And then physical activity was binary, yes to physical activity in the last 30 days. History of cardiovascular disease is binary, yes or no, and current diabetes diagnosis was binary as well, yes or no. The statistical analysis, used crude and adjusted linear regression, simple and multiple linear regression, to examine an association of SSB consumption with BMI, both before and after adjusting for covariates. Complex survey weights were applied, and descriptive statistics were generated for the combined sample and by weight status. So CPR plot, residual plot, and QQ plot were used to check for assumptions of linear regression, and no violations were found. And the statistical software, you can see the type was used version 15 for this analysis. Next slide. So the results. A total of 22,572 participants took part in this analysis. And there is a table. Table 1 presents demographic and descriptive characteristics for the sample population of New Yorkers. And the results are presented as combined totals and stratified by weight status. So here's table 1. I just want to show the table. And as you can see, overall, 32% New Yorkers reported never drinking SSB consumption per week, while 28% reported between 1 to 7 drinks per week, and 19% reported over 7 drinks per week. For New Yorkers with a normal BMI, 32% reported having no SSBs per week, 20% reported having 0 to 1 SSBs per week, and 30% reported having 1 to 7 SSBs weekly. And 18% reported having more than 7 SSB per week. Weight categories included percentages of those reporting no SSB, which ranged from 32% to normal weight to 30% being obese, and the percentages of those reporting over 7 drinks per week, which ranged from 18% normal weight to 21% obese. You can see here is table 1. So these results identified overall of the respondents were 50% were male and 42% normal BMI, 59% overweight, 52% obese. The age mean was 48 years old overall, 45 years old normal BMI, 50 years old overweight, 52 years old obese. Participants who reported being Black race ranged from 13% with normal weight to 23% obese. Participants with normal weight who reported being college graduates was 41%, while 27% of obese participants were college graduates. History of cardiovascular disease ranged from 5% normal weight to 9% overweight to 11% obese. Ever diagnosed with diabetes ranged from 4% normal weight to 10% overweight and to 18% obese. So moving on to table 2. This presents the results of the linear regression in this study. There was no significant association found between reported consumption of less than 1 or 1 to 7 drinks per week and BMI. However, reported consumption of over 7 drinks per week was associated with an increase of 0.43 units BMI. So that was in the crude model. And then in the adjusted model, reported consumption of 0 to 1 drinks per week was associated with an increase of 0.49 units BMI, and reported consumption of over 7 drinks per week was associated with an increase of 0.47 units BMI. Being female, not of Hispanic ethnicity, and being a college graduate were associated with a lower BMI. And reporting no physical activity in the last 30 days was associated with an increase of 0.73 units BMI. Moving on to the conclusion, evidence of a relationship between body weight and SSB consumption was found in this analysis. Increased SSB consumption was associated with increased BMI among New Yorkers. This data suggests avoiding SSBs to reduce the risk of obesity. Public health programs should promote healthier beverage consumption, such as water. Suggestions on future research should aim to examine the relationship of SSBs with weight gain over time using dietary data and adjust for other dietary confounders. So the proposed research intervention, my research question would be, would daily preventative text messages influence parents to have their children take part in healthy eating habits in the United States? So it would be a randomized control trial. 2 groups. Comparison group would get monthly printed materials about healthy food choices for kids. The second is an intervention group, personalized text message sent 2 to 5 times daily, printed materials, and briefly monthly phone calls from a health counselor. The primary outcome would be how many healthy recipes have parents added to their child's diet each month. So consent forms and completed baseline questionnaire is necessary. Text messages would include healthy recipes and reminders that eating healthy can prevent childhood obesity as well as other health issues. Assessing which group added more healthy choices to their child's diet. And a text message intervention might prove to be a productive channel of communication to promote behaviors that support healthy eating for parents and children. So I wanted to go with a text message intervention because I figured everybody's on their phones nowadays. So getting that simple text message daily could remind parents to add more healthy choices to their children's diet, which could prevent child obesity and then later adult obesity. Um, and then here are my references. And that is the end of this presentation. Thank you. Have a great day.